Before we get started in the video, I'm legally obligated to tell you about TC Customs. Go to tccustoms.com for any kind of cool custom parts, whether it's a lift kit, leveling kit, which by the way, we might have some that work for the F-150 Lightning as well, but a lot of different customization options and even exhaust systems if you're gonna go with that internal combustion engine. So check out tccustoms.com for all of your customization needs. What's up guys, Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV, and today I've got my hands on the all new 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning. And in today's video, we're gonna go over something that's maybe not understood all the way, and that is gonna be exactly what does it cost to own and operate a Ford F-150 Lightning. I will tell you, I've got about 400 miles on this particular unit as it sits right now. And I've had a good opportunity to do some home charging as well as some DC fast charging. And really it got me thinking because I have an F-150 Lightning on order for myself as well. This particular F-150 is one of our dealer demonstrators. Some people might call it a mannequin. This vehicle is reserved for test drives for customers that already have a reservation with one of our two dealerships in Bessemer or in Pell City, Alabama. Shameless plug, Town & Country Ford, if you're interested in placing a future order for an F-150 Lightning. But I've got one personally ordered for myself, and I started thinking, okay, well, compared to maybe my Bronco, what kind of money can I expect to save on the actual fuel consumption or electricity as it is in the case of the Lightning? And then I said, you know what? I wonder what it compares to like a normal Ford F-150. So let's go ahead. I've got my laptop in the inside. Let's crack this thing open and take a look at the data to see exactly what you can expect to save or spend extra on the new F-150 Lightning. All right, so as we come to the inside, I will tell you this particular F-150 Lightning is the Lariat trim level, and it has the standard range battery pack. Just a quick look at the interior as we step on the inside. And here we are. Let's go ahead and crank the vehicle up, I say with quotations. You've got the massive 15.5-inch touchscreen located right here. Turn this down so that way we don't get hit with any kind of, there we go. So we've got the massive 15.5-inch touchscreen located right here. I'm gonna turn the air conditioner down just a little bit so that way you guys don't get any wind noise. But I'm gonna bust out my laptop, but one of the cool features of the F-150 Lightning, really all the F-150s, is the ability to have a nice workstation located right here. So we have our trusty laptop right here where we can load up all of the information and show it to you and relay that straight to you guys. So the first place that I go when I'm trying to compare fuel economy costs and things like that, it's a website called fueleconomy.gov. By the way, none of this is sponsored or anything like that. This is just what I am personally racking around in my head to find out exactly what's going on. But go to fueleconomy.gov. Under the Save Money and Fuel tab, there's a couple of cost calculators. I'm specifically going into the fuel savings calculator. When you click on that particular link, it takes you to the ability to plug in a couple of different vehicles, and you can compare them side by side for exactly what kind of fuel economy and cost for electricity, all of that kind of stuff. On the left-hand side, you can see I've got my particular F-150 Lightning selected, which is obviously a 22 Lightning. All of them are four-wheel drive, and the one that I have selected is an extended range, even though the one that I'm in is a standard range. I'm trying to compare this for my own personal consumption. I want to understand what it's going to cost me on my particular situation. So what you can see that it has a 78 miles per gallon equivalent MPGE for the city, and you have 63 for the highway, so a 70 combined MPGE. Now I've selected over here the closest thing that I can possibly think of outside of the hybrid F-150, the Power Boost. I just went ahead and selected the 2022 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive, again, just like the Lightning, but I selected a 3.5 six-cylinder automatic. That is the most popular engine choice right now for the F-150, and as you can see, it gets a 19 miles per gallon combined fuel economy rating. Now, I actually selected and customized how many miles a year I drive. I drive about 16,500 miles a year between here, where I live, and my the Bessemer location, as well as the Pell City location, because I do visit both of those locations pretty frequently. I also changed around what my actual electricity bill costs. So I averaged out the last 6 months, my home averaged 14 cents per kilowatt hour is what it cost me to charge a vehicle or to just to run the air conditioner, it's 14 cents per kilowatt hour. And right now, across the United States, the average fuel economy, or the cost per gallon for gas, is $4.99 a gallon. And when you plug all of those in, it actually gives you the ability to see what kind of cost you're going to be looking at. So once again, vehicle A is going to be our F-150 Lightning. And if I charge at home 100% of the time, then it's going to cost me $1,100 a year in fuel. Now keep in mind, the dealership itself has free level 2 charging at no cost to me. So if I just decide that I'm never going to charge at home and I want to charge 100% at the dealership, or which is my place of business, a lot of you guys work in a place of business that also has free charging, that $1,100 could go down to nothing. So just keep that in mind. But as a worst case scenario, we're looking at $11.07 for the cost of fuel on that. The vehicle B, which is once again is the 3.5 EcoBoost, I'm going to be looking at $4,300 a year. So this vehicle, this Lightning, can save me $3,200 a year in fuel. Just kind of keep that in mind. So you're looking at 6.7 cents per mile on the Lightning and 26 cents per mile on the actual normal F-150. So a pretty decent savings when you look at over the course of 10 years that the Lightning is going to save me $32,260. $32,260 is the fuel consumption savings over 10 years. Now, once again, that's also assuming a $4.99 per gallon. If you're one of those people that are concerned that the gas is going to shoot through the roof, if you want to plug in $6 a gallon, you can see that number moves up to $41,000 saved over a 10-year course of time. But once again, we're not going to get negative here. We're going to stay positive that it's not going to get any higher than it already is. But either way, I wanted to kind of go back through and double check these numbers. And so I actually plugged everything into this little spreadsheet, this Excel spreadsheet. By the way, I've got some other data that I'm going to compare it to my Bronco here in a second. So make sure you don't go anywhere in the video. The video is far from over. I've got a lot of really cool things to look at and to compare here in just a second. But I looked at the standard range Lightning, and once again, using 14 cents per kilowatt hour. This is a 98 kilowatt hour battery. So when you do how much it costs per kilowatt and then 98 kilowatts, you multiply those two together, you're looking at $13.70. Now that's actually interesting. This Lightning has been running this whole time. Did you hear that? It said this vehicle has been running for 30 minutes. We're going to cut off if you don't click the OK button. I guess it's worried that for the emissions that this thing's putting out, the carbon monoxide. That's joking. Terrible dad joke, I'm sorry. But anyways, you're looking at $13.70 to charge a standard range at my home. And if you take a look at 230 miles per charge, I am actually getting 6 cents per mile. So the estimate that I just looked at on fueleconomy.gov is actually correct. Now, times that by 16,500 miles per year, I'm looking at $990 to drive this thing for an entire year in my particular situation. Now, if you're wondering why that's different than the 1107 that we just took a look at, I want to point out to you that the fueleconomy.gov actually has a percentage based on how much you're driving in the city. I don't have that. I am just basing off of just more of a round numbers. This is just to see if we're even in the ballpark, and it looks like we are in that ballpark. The F-150 Lightning extended range, you can look at my math, works the exact same way, and it turns out to be the exact same cost. So it's not going to cost you more to charge up or to operate an extended range than it would be to operate a standard range. But what I really wanted to compare that to was that same 3.5 gas. And keep in mind, I'm using the average of 19 miles per gallon, which is the combined. The fueleconomy.gov is going to go into more detail as far as percentage of city versus highway driving, but $42.90 per year. And once again, when you compare that to the $43.33, it shows that my math and fueleconomy.gov's math is spot on. Now, I want to point out to you that, you know what, I'm going to show the Bronco stats last. What I do want to do is I want to tab back over into my Excel spreadsheet, and you might be wondering, like, what is the break-even point on buying an F-150 Lightning? So I've had a lot of people say, well, okay, well, F-150 Lightning, the one I have on order is expensive. It's like 80 grand for a Lariat, the higher trim level with the higher package. I think it's a 511A equipment group, and I have every option under the sun, as you can see right there on the screen. $80,094. Well, I wanted to go through Ford.com, and I wanted to spec out an F-150 3.5 EcoBoost with the exact same options. So if my truck, which it does, has a twin panel moonroof, I need to opt that on there. If it has four-wheel drive, which it does, I need to add that on there. There's a lot of different options that are standard on the Lightning that are not standard on the normal Lariat F-150. And when you look at a apples to apples, feature to feature option, the normal F-150 is going to run you $75,105. So you're really only talking about $4,900 more to get a Lightning when you compare MSRP to MSRP. And I know what you're thinking, oh, Mitchell, I can't get an F-150 Lightning for MSRP because all these dealers are screwing over their customer. We are a dealership that is of integrity, and we are selling all of our F-150 Lightning orders at MSRP. So if your dealer's not doing that, you need to holler at your boy. Shameless plug. But if you do want more information about how you cannot get screwed when buying the F-150 Lightning, click up on the link up in the cards, and we go through the details of exactly some things you can do to protect yourself if you're not doing business through a reputable dealership like ourselves. So make sure you check out that video after this one's done. Anyways, you're only going to spend $5 grand more to buy a Lightning. So basically, when you compare it apples to apples, in my particular situation, if I wanted the exact same options, I'm going to spend $5 grand more to get the Lightning. And if you just round up and say, hey, I want to look at an annual fuel savings of $3,000, which we're looking at $3,227 in my particular situation, so I probably should redo the numbers, but even then, using the wrong numbers, you're looking at a 20-month break-even point. So just a little over a year and a half, 1.6 years, I think is what that turns out to. So if I drive my F-150 Lightning 1.6 years versus buying and driving a normal F-150 3.5 EcoBoost, the cost to have that extra, the cost to have the electrified version of it, assuming the vehicle fits into your needs and things like that, your break-even point's 20 months. I remember back in the day when hybrids were a lot more of a premium than $5 grand, and you weren't saving nearly that kind of money in fuel because you still had fuel to purchase. It wasn't just straight up plugging it up to your house. And I'll also say that I am not one of these EV freaks that like, go EV for everything. That's not the case. Not everybody needs an EV vehicle. Some people might live in a very rural town and doesn't have access to charging networks. Some people drive 300 miles a day. An EV might not be for you. You see, everybody's situation is different. I also understand that sometimes you have, like in Alabama, you might have a coal-fired or coal-powered power plant, and in that situation, you can't be thinking, oh, I'm saving the environment because I'm going electric. Yeah, you're not going to have any tailpipe emissions, but that electricity has to come from somewhere. So I'm not one of these people that are like, oh, you got to go EV to save the earth, It might save the earth. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. The reason I like EV is because of the cost savings, as we just demonstrated. But you also have the fun factor. This thing has got 775 pound-feet of torque, and it will chirp the wheels in all-wheel drive. It's a lot of fun to drive. It's convenient. You wake up every morning with a full charge. To me, I'm not buying EV because I'm trying to save the planet. But if it's a side benefit, great. But my main reason is it's fast, it's fun, and it's convenient. So there you go. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I was about to wrap it up, and then I realized I did not show you my particular numbers on the Bronco. So I ran these exact same scenarios on my Ford Bronco on fueleconomy.gov. So taking a look at the same F-150 Lightning that we have here, I selected a Ford Bronco Sasquatch with a 2.7. Now keep in mind, my Bronco is lifted on 37s. It's got a really awesome FabTech lift kit. It's 37-inch tires, 37 1350s, might I add you. I've got a custom front bumper, custom rear bumper, custom armor underneath. This thing is not getting anywhere near 17 miles per gallon. But if you want to play the game, let's just roll with what the Sasquatch gets. And same thing, 16,500 miles per year. 55% city driving. By the way, I put premium and nothing but premium in my Bronco and have since day one. And premium right now in Alabama is rocking at $5.62. Comment down below what premium fuel is running in your area. I'm very, very curious. But using that same 14 cents per kilowatt hour, if I decide to give up my Bronco, not saying that I am, but if I give up my Bronco for this all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning, this dude's going to save me $4,300 a year. I don't know what to do. So comment down below. Let me know, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should drive the F-150 Lightning for a year? Do you think I should keep the Bronco and the Lightning and make the Lightning like the daily driver? I got some convincing to do with the wife if that's the case. Should I dump the Bronco for the F-150 Lightning? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Comment down below. I'm very curious. What would you do if you're in my situation? If you could save $4,300 a year in fuel and get the F-150 Lightning. My goal is hopefully to keep both of the vehicles. But like I said, I got some talking to the wife to do. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's been very different, very unorthodox, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I had a whole lot of fun making the video as well. And realistically, I just kind of wanted to take you guys through the same mental process that I'm going through in making an informed decision on my next vehicle purchase. And I'm like, you know, if I'm probably doing this, there's probably other people in the United States doing the exact same thing. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below. Let me know those fuel prices. Let me know what you think I should do in my personal driving situation. Yeah, I would greatly appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up button because it makes this content a lot more relevant to other people, and it will actually serve it to other people that really need to hear this content. So thank you very, very much for doing that. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss a single video. Peace.